Hi, this is Victor. I'm back here after doing some hobby stuff. I'm back on the review of the Dark Eldar Codex, and this time I will review the fast attack options on the book. And we will start with the Beast Masters, also known as the Beast Pack. So I think this is one of the units that have changed more from previous codex to this one. From the concept how to create the unit and up to the how to use this unit. First of all, now you can take 1 to 12 models selected between Beast Pack, Chimera, Razor Wing Flock and Clouded Fin. The Beastmaster is a standard Eldar with the initiative 6. The Chimera is a demon that is 4/0/4/4 strength and toughness, 1 wound, initiative 6, 3 attacks, and leadership 5. And as a demon have the 5+ invulnerable save. Then we have the Razor Wing Flock that is weapon skill 2, no ballistic skill, strength and toughness 3, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 4 attacks, leadership 5, and then we have the Clouded Fin. That is the one that has changed quite a little bit. Is weapon skill 3, strength and toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 4 attacks, and leadership 5. Beastmaster is costing 10 points, Chimera is costing 10 points, Razor Wing Flock 20, and Clouded Fin 30. The first thing I see here is Chimera is not that expensive, so you have a demon with 5+ invulnerable save and 6+ save, but you will never use it, that have toughness and strength 4 and have 3 attacks. So it's not a bad choice. So how I will construct this unit? The first thing I was thinking is make a big unit. For example, I was thinking, no, you can put easily 5 Clouded Fins. So if I put 5 Clouded Fins, 5 Chimeras, and 1 Beastmaster, and this can have the Agonizer or not. I think with 1 attack, so 2 in charge, I'm not sure that I will use the Agonizer in that case. Because the Beastmaster, I only want to use it here as for the leadership, so to avoid, because all the beasts have leadership 5, so you need to put something to hold them in place. And on top of that, they don't have power from the pain, and I think this is one of the drawbacks of the Beast Pack. So you will not have Fearless, or you will not have any of the bonuses. So how I think is working this unit, I told you that is 5 Clouded Fins, 5 Chimeras, and 1 Beastmaster is 210 points. It's not a cheap unit, but first the enemy have to shoot against toughness 5, and if they wound, then you will have the 5+ invulnerable save if you don't have a better cover. So it's not a bad choice. You have to avoid to as maximum as possible to be shoot, and on top of that they are beasts, so you have to be quite fast to engage in close combat. This is one of the choices. The other choice is to make a hybrid unit, what they call a hybrid unit. So you will have, for example, 7 Chimeras and 5 Beastmasters. So you will have 12 miniatures for 120 points. They will have the shooting of the skateboard that have the splinter pods. If I'm not wrong, the splinter pods is assault 2 and range 18. You should be inside of range 18 with the movement you have. You can use the Chimera as a toughness boost and the save, and you can use the Beastmasters to shoot. It's not a bad unit, also with a good strength in close combat. The last option I was thinking about, and I think this is mainly focused, and I think now that we can use multiple detachments, is a way to make extreme use of the Beastmaster pack, or the Beastmasters. So now the unit is from 1 to 12, so you can take a single miniature to make a unit. So imagine now that you have a detachment that is 1 Lamian, 10 points, 2 units of 5 Cavalids with Blaster, 130 points. You can add the Venoms as well, so this will go then to 100 something points additional Venoms, and then you will add 6 Chimeras. Okay, so you will have, potentially, you will have 9 units for 200 points. This is a lot of units, and on top of that, if they shoot to 1 Chimera, what else? So they will waste most of the shooting, so he will kill, your enemy will kill the Chimera, but you will only use 10 points, that is the cost of a Chimera. Now imagine that you can have multiple detachments, you are not forced to have only 2. So you can make, I don't know, 5 detachments of 200 points, and you will have 45 units. So you can hold almost any objective. If you avoid multiple assault charge, yeah, he will keep Chimera by Chimera or Cavalry Warrior by Cavalry Warrior, but this is giving a lot of flexibility. Of course, if it's you have to use the other points to have some anti-vehicle shooting. I think it's too extreme to spend 1,000 points, but you can imagine 2 detachments, 18 units, just in 400 points, and then the rest you use as a normal units for your army. So this is opening this combined with the possibility of having of the Court of the Archon. You can make extremely cheap units of 10 points, and I think this is opening a lot the possibilities for extreme strategies or extreme lists based on spamming very small units. I just leave it there. Also, you can use Chimeras, or you can use, if you want, Beastmasters. And Chimeras, if they are on, you don't care about leadership. So they are killed normally most of the times, and there are not a lot of things that are against your leadership. So the next, this is all for the Beast pack. So I see more maybe to squeeze it to go to the extreme, and now go to completely the opposite on the previous codex. On the previous codex we went for a massive unit with a lot of boost. Why not to think that in codex we go to the other way around? Small units of only 1 miniature to hold multiple objectives at the same time. Especially if you play milestone battle. Of course, if you play standard battles and you have 1 mission that is skill points, these are drain of points, so you will not use this extreme unit. But if you know that you are going to play milestone, or there are no kill points in your tournament, well, this is a very strong way to go. So now we go to the Rider. Rider now is also fast attack, so I wanted to cover here. I don't think there is much to say on the Rider. I will use this with always with the Knight Shield to add +1 to the Jink, and I will use the Darklands. This is making the Rider 75 points. I think it's the best way to use it. It's a very good vehicle. It's adding a lot of durability now with the 4+ Jink plus the 3 plus the 1 for the Night Shields, and you can use the ruins or terrain if you need to avoid to Jink and then not to do snapshots. I will not be concerned about the snapshots at the beginning of the game, because the Rider is not there to shoot at the beginning. I think it's there to transport your units to the right spot. Okay? And they will not shoot all if you are spamming vehicles, they will not shoot all your vehicles. The next one is the Venom. Venom cannot take the night shields, but have the flickering field by default. I will always use with double splinter cannon, and it will cost 65 points. It's a very nice, I think for me it's more than a good transport, it's a good anti-infantry platform. Very cheap, 65 points, you deliver a lot of pain, especially to monstrous creature and light armored infantry. 2 vehicles that I think still play the same role as in previous codex, and there is not much to say, they didn't change a lot. Now we go to the Rivers. Rivers I think now went down in cost. You have the basic unit is 3 for 48 points, so meaning that you're paying 16 for each river. You can add up to, let me see if I can find the number, 9 additional rivers, no, up to 9, sorry. Yeah, you can include up to 9 rivers, so by 16 points. What have changed a lot is the special rule that they used to have. In the previous codex, when you were in movement passing through one enemy, you deliver some attacks, some impacts to that unit. In that case, you have to assault the unit, and then this translates in Hammer of Wrath attacks. I think Reavers are is a unit that have a lot of flexibility. I will equip them with blasters or dark lances. I have hit lances, sorry. I will prefer maybe the heal lances is Melta plus lance, strength 6, and of course its Melta is going to be AP 1. Yeah, it's AP 1, assault 1, lance and Melta is range 18, meaning that you at 9 inches you have double to penetrate. In a river should not be a big issue because you have the mobility to go in position. And I will put them the cluster Clartops. And I don't see anything that is forbidden to put the cluster Clartops to the same bike that have the hit lance. In that way you use, I will, for example, you can make a unit of 9 rivers. So let's start, the basic unit is 3. So 3 rivers with the hill lance and the cluster Clartops is 73 points. Okay? So how I will play that is I will play the 2 rivers without any upgrade on front. They are the ones that will take the first casualties, and then I will keep the one that is boosted and is costing the most as the last one to survive. In that way, if I will have 1 or 2 losses, I don't lose the main bike. But I will see that to protect really these assets, the best way is to go to a bigger unit, maybe 6. In that way you will have 4 rivers to protect, and you will have 2 rivers with the hill lance and the cluster Clartops, or you can go to unit of 9, and then a unit of 9 will cost 219 points. So you will have good shooting against vehicles with 3 hill lances that can be Melta. If you are at short range, and you should be able to be there at least on turn 2 or 3. And then if you don't finish the vehicle, you can assault the vehicle, and you will do 3d6 strength 6 attacks with rending, meaning that if the vehicle have armor, so in average 3d6 is going to be 11 hits. If you do 12, in average, if even armor 12 or 13, you will do 2 lancings. So you can do some damage with the hill lances and finish the vehicle if you don't kill it, assaulting and taking the last 2 or 1 or 2 last hull points in the assault. Also, if you can have time to maneuver, you can try to assault to the side armor of the vehicle, having more chances. The Hammer of Wrath goes to the facing armor, it's not going to the back. It's a pity that they don't have a strength 3, unless I don't know if they have combat drugs. No, they don't have they have special. Yeah, they have combat drugs, unless you have combat drugs that are in +1 to your strength. So I think it's quite a useful unit. Also against infantry, if you do 3d6 attacks of strength 6 rending, could be quite tough for the infantry to resist to that. And then if they are in open field, all your bikes will do some additional attacks at initiative 6. I think it's quite a good unit. Yeah, if you go to 9, it's quite expensive, 219 points, but it's adding flexibility. Also the rest will have anti-infantry shooting with the poisoned, the splinter. They are equipped, the river I think is equipped with a splinter shot, so it's going to be poisoned shot. So not a bad unit. I think you have to go, I will go for at least 6 to have 4 rivers to cover the ones with the biggest assets in the unit. Next one in the fast attack book are the aliens. Aliens are jump infantry. They cost 65 points. Going back, as you can see before, I will not use upgrades on rivers in terms of I will not use the arena champion. I don't think it's needed to put the arena champion there. I think I will try more to try to avoid to be engaged in close combat. They have the hit and run special rule, so I will go there, I will use my Hammer of Wrath, I will stay in close combat if it's needed and if I'm not killing my enemy, and then in my turn, and at the end of my enemy turn, I will disengage to be ready to move, shoot and assault again. So I will not use Agonizer, and just having 2 or 3 attacks with Agonizer, I don't think you're paying a lot, because you need to pay for the 10 points for the champion plus the 25 points of the Agonizer. I think it's too expensive, 35 points. I will focus on having on having the Hill Lancers and the Cluster Catbots. So let's go back, let's go to the Aliens, that was when I move. So I think Aliens, no, I don't see them really as a mainly shooting attack. I see them more as assault. I see them more as a shooting with the capacity of assaulting. What I mean is, they have 1 attack, in assault 2 attacks, and they also have the hit and run. So what I see them is anti-infantry, anti-horde units. So I will use them in units of 15, 10, 15, 10 maybe, to have a lot of shooting. So a unit of 10 is 130 points, a unit of 15 is going to be 195 points, so almost 200. I will use them minimum 10. 10 is will deliver 20 shots with the splinter pods, 15 will deliver 30 shots of poison. With the ballistic skill 4 is quite a lot of pain. So you shoot to the unit, you disseminate this unit in shooting, if there is any survival, you finish the unit in assault. But I see more assault as the finishing of this unit than the main asset. So I will use them, try to use cover to protect them from the enemy shooting, put a lot of pressure in the shooting, shoot the unit that is in range, and then try to assault the unit to finalize. Here I have doubts if I will use the Heliacark, because it's costing 10 points, the Heliacark, and yeah, equip this with the Splinter Pistol and Agonizer is 20 points more, so it's going to cost 30 points additional to have the Agonizer. Maybe here is worth it because you want to finish your enemies in close combat. Is this type of points that you can doubt if you put or not, depending what is the enemy that you expect to face. If you expect them to face Marines, maybe it's good to have the Agonizer. The problem is this guy is going to be into challenge most of the times, but you should be able also to win the challenge with higher initiative. The weak points of all these units, by the way, I forgot to mention before, the weak points of the Beast Pack, of the Reavers, of the Aliens, they don't have any assaulting grenade, because now they can take the Phantasm Grenade Launcher, but for 15 points I will never use that. It's not giving assault grenades, and now what you do is a shooting that the enemy unit have to take a leadership check. If they fail, they will receive a wound that cannot be saved for the difference between the result on the dice and the leadership. And it's not working against it, and they feel no fear and fearless units. So it's not working against, I will say, 50% of the units in the game today, and with only 2d6 against leadership, you will cause 1 or 2 if you are lucky. I will not take the Phantom Grenade Launcher. I think 15 points is too much for what it can deliver. Let's keep going on the fast attack, and the next one is the Razorwing Jet Bike. Razorwing Jet Bike, Jet Fighter, sorry, not Jet Bike, Jet Fighter. So can be very good. You can make two builds on this one. I will, and I think I will specialize it depending on what is the way you want to use it. You can use it to damage infantry, so to be your air support for ground units, and in that case you will use, as it comes equipped with the 2 disintegrators, and then I will just use the necrotoxin missile, or depending on the infantry, the necrotoxin The monoseed missile is very good against the light infantry, and the necrotoxin missile is very good against high toughness objective. So normally I will use the monoseed missile against the light infantry. I will not pay for the upgrade if my plan is go to against infantry. The upgrade is just good, is strength 7, is just good if you want to shoot vehicles, but I think if you are focusing with the 2 disintegrators and you want to use the monocyte missiles and just substitute the twin link splinter rifle by the splinter cannon. So this means that your razor wing is costing 100. You have to add on top of that. I will always take the night shields. How I will use that? I go into the battlefield, I shoot to the unit of infantry with the maximum weapons I can. If maybe I have to use the 2 missiles and the weapons I have, and it's one of them in snapshotting. If they shoot me back, I jink and I go out of the battlefield. So in the way that I just using this turn to be back on the next one. I think I prefer to jink and not to do snapshots and then go out of the battlefield on the next turn. I know that in that way we don't have it in the battlefield all the time, but I think it's the way I see that is more useful. If you keep it on the battlefield, you're risking that on the next turn they shot again, you jink again, and then you're always doing the snap shooting and you are not taking profit of the flyers. And I think with this super low armor, you don't want to take the risk of not jinking. So 2 build-ups, 1 anti-infantry. You can use the monocyte missiles or you can use the necrotoxin, depending a little bit on the enemies. One is better than the other. I will not use the Shatterfield missile, and then I will equip with the night shields and the splinter cannon. So this is making a total of 155 points for an anti-infantry vehicle that can damage quite well also Terminators with the disintegrators. 6 shots of Strength 5 AP2 are dangerous for Terminators. The other way to use that is as your anti-flyers, anti-vehicle flyer. In that way, I will not pay the upgrade for the splinter cannon. I will substitute the 2 disintegrators for Dark Lancers. It's 10 points, and then I will as well put the night shields, and maybe in that case for 5 points I will use the Shatterfield missiles. Why? It's strength 7, so it's higher strength. So if you are targeting vehicles and you manage to go to low armor vehicles, 2 Dark Lances with 2 missiles should be able to finish this vehicle if you have a good shooting. If not, if you only want to attack flyers, don't take any of the grades, just take one of the missiles that is coming by default, put the 2 Dark Lancers. And what I will never pay if you are going to anti-vehicle or anti-flyers is I will never pay the splinter cannon. Why you want to waste 10 points on that? That's all. So it's a vehicle that most of the cases will cost 155 points, 160 points depending how you want to equip it. It's not going to be lower than that, so don't think it's 130. So you have always about 20 points in equipment. And now we go to Scourges. I think Scourges is one of the units that have been boosted more, or the people is thinking to use it more in the new codex. First, the main reason is because now the 4 Scourges can take 4 special weapons and or heavy weapons. So they can have very strong shooting. I will not take, if I go for shooting as well, in that case I will not take the Solarit. And there is a reason why. So I take 4. If I take the Solarit with a blaster, or I cannot take a blaster with a blast, and cannot take blast pistol. Yeah, I can take a blast pistol. If you want to take a Solarit with blast pistol, you need to pay 25 points more for the unit. So my build-ups will be a unit of 4 with blasters or high-wear blaster. And I think if you go or high-wear lances. If you go anti-vehicle, high-wear lances are the best, but they lose flexibility. If you want more flexibility, you can use the hill lances because you will have a strength 6 and Melta, and you also can take the blaster. So the 4 weapons I need to do a deeper analysis. High wear blaster for sure is stronger, is the strongest one of all these against vehicles, because you always do glancing on 2+. The blasters are going to be very good against low armor. When you go to armor 12, you go on 4+, so you will have 50-50 chances to do damage. The heal lances, if you are very close, you are going to be better than the blasters, but you are going to be worse against monsters, and if you are in long range, you are going to be worse than the blasters. So it's depending a little bit on your choice. And I think in that unit, if you want a lot of precision and you want a suicidal unit, because I think this unit will be killed the first turn. So you will arrive, you will shoot, and it will kill. Your enemy cannot afford to let them survive, unless you put them hiding in a corner of the battlefield, and then they will not do what they're supposed to do. So you can, one way of forcing the enemy to shoot more to you is adding here one of the characters with the web portal and the shadow field. In that way they will have 2+ invulnerable save. You put him in front, he's going to be the shield against your unit, and on top of that, with the web portal you can do a very precise deep strike. So you can go to the next to this vehicle that you want to destroy. For high-wear weapons, if it's 3 hull points, you should be able to destroy if you can avoid the cover by deploying very close to it, or deploy in a way that it's not having cover. If it's a 4 hull points, if it's a Land Rider, you will not have enough. Okay, and then if you put here an Archon, for example, you can put the Archon with the blaster directly, and the blaster and the shadow field and the web, but then you will lose 1 of HQ because this will suicide. So you will need 2 HQs, 1 for the suicidal unit and another one to be your warlord, if you don't want to give this point easily. I think, and then a unit of 4 is a unit of 5 with 4 heavy weapons, with 4 high-wear lances or high-wear blasters, or 4 heal lances. It's costing 120 points. So I think 120 points for the ability to disseminate an enemy vehicle is not bad. So I will use, maybe I will use them alone. If you don't use anything to avoid the scattering in the when they come in the scatter when they come in deep strike, then I will use the high-wear grenades if your objective is to high-wear blaster if your objective is to kill an enemy vehicle. So 4 high-wear blasters, not any other grade. 120 points is a unit that can kill this artillery at the back of the enemy field, or can kill this predator, or can kill, I don't know, the basilisk that is always hiding, or the whirlwind that can make the whirlwind can be a bigger threat than with that it seems, because have the missile that is ignoring cover save. And as I say in my first review, Dark Eldar will be highly dependent on the cover save. So the first thing I think you have to neutralize when you're playing Dark Eldar are all these weapons and all these abilities that give the enemy to eliminate your cover save, because without that your army will be killed very easily. You cannot afford weapons that ignore cover in your enemy. So that's all. Sorry that I went out of topic, but I think it was worth to mention. That's all for the fast attack. I will be soon back with the heavy support. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and see you again later. Bye!